The Mediterranean island of Sardinia, popular with tourists and locals alike. You've more chance of living to 100 here than anywhere in the world. Good to know, even if the peace and tranquility of local life is shattered once in a while. Yes, the annual high-speed invasion is underway as the World Rally Championship adds a blast of colour to the Costa Smeralda. I'm Kevin Piper. Welcome to round 7 of the WRC season.
Brake, right 4.
It's Rally Italia Sardegna. We're exactly halfway through a season that started back in the freezing cold of Monte Carlo and Sweden, but is now very much about the heat and dust of traditional summer gravel rallies. Sardegna, the final stop before the mid-season break. Sebastian Ogier's won 3 of the first 6 events, but encountered his first major problem last time out in Greece. His VW stranded in the opening stage with fuel pressure problems.
Yeah, I think it should be okay now. The team has worked on it, and unfortunately it can happen. Of course, it was not the result I expected there, but before that we had a good start, so now I just want to restart to score a good point here.
But this weekend will be an especially tough test for all concerned. Rally Italia packed into just 2 long, gruelling days this year, instead of the usual 3. A real test of endurance in the searing midsummer heat.
The main challenge will be the temperature, maybe end of June here. We've seen here in the Ricky it's really hot, maybe sometime over 35 degrees, so it can be quite hard for us in the car and also for the mechanics.
On the Ricky it was 37 degrees on the stage end, so in the rally car I can't even imagine what it will be. So just drink a lot of water. The physical training we have done before the event is very critical.
Some other rallies, the line and the side of the road is really easy to see and kind of guess where the corner is and get it right. But here there's always rocks and bushes or something kind of breaking the clear line of the road. So it's more difficult to read the road, and you have to be a little bit more neat all the time, even though it's really fast.
If you push a bit too much, normally you want to cut, then you have rock. If you go too fast, then there's rock. Things to hit so much. So to find that level to drive fast on the narrow road, but to keep it all the time on the control that you don't attack too much to the corners.
It's very narrow with a lot of stones everywhere, and it's very easy to puncture or to break a wheel or something like this.
And here's where it's all happening, the holiday hotspot of Sardinia off the west coast of the Italian mainland, about an hour's flight from Rome. The rally based in the port of Olbia, with the stages stretching out over the north of the island. Sebastian Ogier's lead over Acropolis winner Jari-Matti Latvala, now 52 points, but with 25 available for a win, plus power stage bonus points, things can change quickly. Volkswagen also leading the Manufacturers' Championship, but their advantage over Citroën is just 18 points. M-Sport in 3rd place. The weekend's action underway with qualifying. Jari-Matti Latvala picking up where he left off in Greece, setting the quickest time to earn first choice of road position for the rally proper. Fellow Finn Mika Hirvonen's last WRC victory came here in Sardinia last year. He was the highest placed Citroën in 4th. Russian Yevgeny Novikov was runner-up here last year, and he's the pick of the M-Sport drivers, 2nd quickest behind Latvala. And as expected, Jari-Matti opts to start the last of the 13 elite WRC runners. The stages should be swept clean of loose dust and gravel by the time the Finn passes through. Khalid Al-Qasimi leads them away. There's a WRC debut for young Welshman Elfyn Evans. The big names starting further back, Hirvonen, Ogier and Novikov just ahead of Latvala. Qualifying over, the crews headed to the northwest of the island for the ceremonial start at Sassari. A riot of rich colour and local culture celebrating this year's visit of the WRC. Jari-Matti Latvala among those appreciating a warm welcome from the local rally fans. So, day 1, Friday, a long opening day featuring 8 stages, a total competitive distance of almost 150 kilometres. Add in the road section and the crews will cover well over 600 kilometres today, ending in darkness some 16 hours later. A gruelling 2-day test of endurance ahead then, as we prepare for the first run through Monte Lerno, watched by commentator Paul King.
And as you quite rightly mentioned, we have quite some day in store today, Kevin. We start with the longest stage of the weekend, also the most famous, Montilerno. It's more than 31 kilometres in length, and one of our first runners is a new face to the WRC field, young Welshman, Elfyn Evans. You can only imagine the sensation inside that car, part excitement, part terror in equal measure. And the 24-year-old has good reason to feel the nerves. These Sardinian stages are some of the most demanding on the calendar. Wide and flowing to begin with here, but there are plenty of rougher, tougher challenges ahead. And another new face for 2013 here, but a familiar one nonetheless. Per Gunnar Andersen, 2 times a junior WRC champion, but still yet to make a sustained impact in the sport's top level. But that's a puncture. The tyre completely destroyed. Rubber delaminating from the tyre. Fortunately, it's close to the stage finish, but proof that even the toughest tyres in the world will take some punishments on this hot, rough surface. Well, we saw plenty of such incidents last time out in Greece, and an early reminder for the rest of the field that these stages also need respect. Our eye in the sky, chasing Mikko Hirvonen. Finn, one of many to come unstuck in Greece. The Citroën man is fast approaching Mickey's jump, named after Italy's great champion Mickey Biaggiano. Dab on the brakes to set it up. Hirvonen opting for a controlled leap. A tactic often used, highest, not necessarily quickest over these jumps. The quicker you get the wheels on the ground, the quicker you get the power down. Even so, has been a soaring start for Hirvonen. He's quickest through so far. And here is our championship leader, Sébastien Ogier. Frenchman still holds a comfortable advantage in the title race, but that setback in Greece will remind him that nothing is won yet. And if you thought Mikko was special over Mickey's jump, just take a look at that. An absolutely huge leap from the VW start. Simply breathtaking. Hirvonen opted for caution. Ogier, well, Ogier just wanted to see if his Polo could fly, and fly it did. 25 metres, that 1,000 kilogram car flew. Wow. Seb leaving nothing in reserve here, and he is 5 seconds quicker than Hirvonen. Normal service resumed at the moment for the Frenchman. The road surface, of course, improving for every passing car as the loose gravel is swept away. That's why this man, Jari-Matti Latvala, chose to run as the last WRC car after going fastest in qualifying. The Greece winner definitely worth a look over Montilerno's jump. Jari pumped up and aggressive from the off, but slightly untidy over Mickey's jump. Let's take another look. Yeah, Jari just slightly crosses up as he hits the crest. Still a huge leap, though. Did I see something amiss with that front left tyre? Yeah, take a look at it now. Well, it might have started as a puncture, but the tyre is rapidly disintegrating. Whoa, and like Andersen earlier, the rubber has completely delaminated from the wheel. Once again, Jari's experiencing that deflating feeling, and he's had to drive for several kilometres like this. Well, Michelin's hard compound latitude cross tyre is tough, close to unbreakable, but there are limits.
8 kilometers in, I don't know exactly where it was, and suddenly I just felt that the tire was empty on the braking, so I don't have a clear vision where it happened. First I thought it was a right, because I know that there was a stone, I hit the stone with the right, but it was right was fine, so eventually it was the left.
Is this a disaster?
Well, it doesn't look good yet, but let's see. Let's keep going, and let's see what happens in this rally.
Jari-Matti staying positive but out of luck. Unlike VW teammate Sébastien Ogier, he's in front ahead of Citroën's Mikko Hirvonen. A good start too for M-Sport duo Novikov and Osberg, running 3rd and 4th. Further back, an encouraging run from rookie Welshman Elfyn Evans, ending his first stage in the top 10. Meanwhile, Jari-Matti Latvala and co-driver Mika Anttila get to work changing the wheel in the road section. All in all, that puncture has cost them almost 2 minutes. So we're up and running in spectacular style here in Sardinia, but it's going to be a long opening day with lots more to come from an action-packed Rally Italia very shortly. Welcome back to the Rally Italia Sardegna, offering another stunning backdrop for the latest stop in this year's World Rally Championship adventure. Our WRC eye in the sky, enjoying a perfect view of the Mediterranean landscape. A telltale dust trail ahead as we now locate and track Citroën team leader Mikko Hirvonen through the 14 kilometers of Castelsardo. Mikko Hirvonen pushing hard in second position. Another driver on a mission in stage 2. Russia's Yevgeny Novikov, joined at the start line now by Paul.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Evgeny starts this stage in a podium position. He did lead briefly in Greece as well, so we know he's quick. Oh, no! That is a huge accident. They're on the roof. The first concern, of course, for Evgeny and Ilka. I think they're okay, but they are going to be very shaken after this. Just clipped the rear into the wall, and they were passengers. It was an absolutely flat-out stretch of road. Must have been terrifying inside the car as well. You can see the rather inglorious exit from the car with the wheels facing upwards, but as I said, Evgeny and Ilka thankfully unharmed.
Was the right corner which tightens, and I have a flat in my pace notes, so I tried to go flat, but it was too slippery, and we hit the fence made of stones and rolled. So damaged rear left wheel, and the damage is quite bad, so I don't think that will start tomorrow.
Understatement from Evgeny there. He's replaced by his Guitar M Sport teammate Mads Osberg in third, with Danny Sordo into fourth as we move on to our stage of the day. Turgo Osilo is just under 15 kilometers of undulating, rugged terrain. A real roller coaster of a stage this. We've selected a section of just over 1.5 kilometers to compare our leading drivers through. Fast in places, but also tight and technical. No margin for error, as ever. With Mads Osberg fastest through our split section so far. First to challenge his effort is Mikko Hirvonen. Look out for the banner on the end of that wall. That marks the start of our time section. As you can see, 1 minute, 1.6 seconds, the time Mikko's aiming for. Well, let's take a look at this stage then. Still quite open and flowing, as we've already seen, nudging the edge of the road at times. Jarmo Lehtinen will be warning of the corners, and caution is needed. Much rougher and more abrasive here too. The sun beating down. Not only will this long day get increasingly uncomfortable for the WRC's finest, it will also, of course, increase tyre wear as the surface temperature builds. Attack too hard and the rubber will not last. Don't attack enough and you could slip down the leaderboard. Oh, inches away from those low walls. Through a chicane there, that's been added to bring speeds down for a tarmac section, but how will Hirvonen fare against Osberg's time? The second chicane marks the end of the split. Oh, just 1/10 of a second between them in 1.5 kilometers. It's been a solid start to the rally for the man in second, but can he get back on terms with the rally leader? And here is the man. Mikko is once again chasing Sébastien Ogier. Look out for the end of the wall, remember. Now our split time clock fires up and we can ride on board with the man who's lit up the WRC stages so far in 2013. Osberg's effort of 101.6, still the time to beat. The Frenchman is already looking good to firmly consign his Greek tragedy to the history books. Remember, he started this stage just over 14 seconds up on Citroen's Flying Finn Hirvonen. Still incredibly quick in places here. This is how we rally in Sardinia. Good showing of Italian fans out there on the hillside as well. Ogier, really aggressive again, waiting for that second chicane, remember. You can hear the rubber squealing on the tarmac. Yeah, it's almost a second and a half up on Osberg. That's incredible driving from the championship leader. Supremely talented on the stages, yet completely calm and controlled. Ogier's teammate Jari-Matti Latvala is known to get a bit more emotional, and who can blame him after yet another luckless start? Let's start the clock. We've already seen Jari respond to his early puncture with a stage win in the second test. Little sign of feeling sorry for himself too in our split time section. Fighting for fractions of seconds in every corner, and still enjoying that superior grip to the rest of the field, remember. Look out for the tracks of clear gravel ahead of Latvala here. This run through our split section, another indication how hard he's fighting. Flat out here in the approach to the chicanes on the tarmac. Can he beat Ogier through the split? Oh, not quite, just 0.2 of a second in it. Fans enjoying the effort though. Thierry Neuville's another young driver with plenty of raw speed, but has only shown fleeting glimpses of his talent since his switch to M Sport at the start of the year. Oh. And again, the Belgian reaching beyond the limits. A lucky boy on that occasion. But he should survive with his 5th place intact.
So another stage win for Ogier. He extends his lead over second place Mika Hirvonen to over 20 seconds. Osberg's strong run has seen him close slightly on the Finn, while just off the leading pack now, Latvala has moved back up to 7th. Well, it was a typically early start for the crews today. 7 o'clock and the service park in Olbia is already a hive of activity. Team mechanics packing their tools ahead of a 100-kilometre trip to Sassari for a remote service, which, as the name suggests, means working on the cars away from base with limited resources this morning, all adding to the challenge of the weekend.
The majority of our team go across. Basically, we're allowed 4 mechanics per car working on the car, and then there'll be the engineer in charge of each car as well. The key thing is that we're limited. The spare parts that we can fit in a remote service are only ones that we carry in the car. So obviously, from weight purposes, the cars don't want to be driving around with gearboxes and heavy components and things like that in. So they'll tend to just take suspension components and smaller items like those. The time's limited as well. It's only a 15-minute service, and they're only allowed to use hand tools, so it's quite a big difference from what we're allowed to do here.
Well, here we are now, joining M Sport's Mads Osberg, arriving at the remote service after 60 kilometres of rough, rocky stages this morning, with another 60 kilometres before he reaches full service back at Olbia.
So Nigel, Mads is in 3rd. What are you expecting to have to do at this remote service?
Hopefully not a lot, because we don't have a lot of time, so it's really just going to be a good check over. If there's anything specific, then we go straight to that, but it's really prioritised depending on what we have to do. You just quickly see what the fuel level was when you got 2 seconds. If you want. Yeah. Oscar, you check preload? Yeah. Was that okay?
It was 14 hours 18.
Okay. Yeah? What's the ABS, please? 34.7. You done ride height and everything? You happy?
Yeah, it's good, thank you.
So Nigel, as far as remote services go, how was that?
That was a reasonably good one. I've definitely had worse.
So after more than 5 hours of sweltering competition under the scorching Sardinian sun, we're still not even halfway through this marathon day of competition. Stage 4 is a repeat pass through Castelsardo, and we've joined Osberg's teammate Thierry Neuville. The Belgian utterly focused on Nicolas Gilzoul's guidance, and he's thrown caution to the wind despite moving on to one of the tighter, more technical sections the drivers fear the most. It's a stage win for Neuville, and he is gaining rapidly on the drivers ahead. Confirmation there, the Belgian is now just a couple of seconds behind Dani Sordo. And with Neuville becoming the emerging force in Sardinia, we'll take a break. Plenty more to come though from the Rally Italia.
A marathon opening day of the Rally Italia continues on the sun-kissed island of Sardinia. A long way still to go for both the elite WRC class and those contesting the support series here. Plenty of interest in the WRC 2 championship, not least with former Grand Prix driver Robert Kubica, the Polish star, winning comfortably last time out in Greece and continuing to impress. Kubica building up a lead from the start of the day. He sits over a minute ahead of the rest of the field, running just outside the top 10 in the overall classification. Behind Kubica, a lively chase developing. German Sepp Wiegand was running in second. That was until the penultimate stage this evening, when he developed problems and dropped back to fourth place. That was nothing compared to Ukrainian Yuri Protasov, who'd been pushing Wiegand hard in third place, but he was forced to stop in stage 7. All of which allowed championship leader Abdelaziz Al-Kouari to move up to third, just 2.5 seconds behind Italian debutant Lorenzo Bettelli, thoroughly enjoying his first WRC2 outing, running in second place going into tonight's final stage. Okay, back to the elite WRC class now with Paul.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, this marathon day has seen plenty of incident and intrigue already, but still plenty of kilometres to cover. Bogier still the man to catch. Martin Prokop's giving his all here in stage 5. The ever-reliable Czech is in control and on course to score points again. Ford Privateer running in 8th place. Mads Osberg, meanwhile, is again proving the pace we know he has. The Norwegian just needs to get some results to go with his undoubted speed. And sports #1 running in the final podium place as the afternoon stages roll on. But there is a man behind who is looming large in his rear-view mirrors. And here that man is. I don't know what Thierry Neuville had for lunch, but whatever it was, it has been effective. The Belgian has been simply spectacular this afternoon. As we revisit Mickey's jump in Montilerno for a second time, Neuville is flying metaphorically as well as literally. Fastest again in stage 5. He passes Sordo for 5th. In stage 6, he overhauls Osberg, and he's not finished yet. So, beware Mikko Hirvonen. As Neuville is consistently hitting the top of the timesheets, worryingly the Citroën Star's pace has faded. With tyre wear in the increasing heat the principal cause, the Finn's grip on second is becoming increasingly weak.
Vasen loivoylytykyn keskeltä jatkuu vasen K, kivi sisällä kierrä. 8, vasen tosi hidas käännä. 8, huomio oikeudenlytykyn keskeltä.
Quite a battle between second and 5th positions then, but what about the man out front? Well, what do you expect from a driver who's already won 3 rallies in 2013 in the standout machinery of the season so far? Again, the Ogier Polo R combination has been so far unmatchable.
How do you look after your tyres so well?
I mean, it's nothing special, it's just my natural driving style, but for sure when it's even warm like that, I try to be even more safe with steering and even more progressive.
So with one more night stage to run, Ogier's advantage is just over 44 seconds. The driver of the afternoon, though, Thierry Neuville, moving up from 5th to 3rd, just behind Hervenen. Further back, Mikkelsen can expect to come under attack from Jari-Matti Latvala. Elfrid Evans remains on course to end his first day at the sport's top level in 10th. It's been a bruising first day here on the island of Sardinia, a long one too. They'll enjoy their rest tonight and they'll need it. Join us again refreshed and ready to go once more tomorrow.
Right here, light water press and still brave.